Hi, this is Maurice Odhiambo, the African teacher. So finally, the United Nations voted to recognize the enslavement of Africans in the cross-Atlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. The gravest crime against humanity. That's as high as it can go in international law. This proposal by Ghana, of course, was supported overwhelmingly by 123 votes. 52 countries abstained, mostly in the European Union. Of course, the Europeans led by United Kingdom and other members of the Union. Yeah, the very same ones who will come telling you that they are your friends. Guess who opposed the motion? This is where it gets interesting. These are three of the most interesting settler economies or settler colonies in the world. United States, its sidekick Israel, and Argentina. So I want to tell you a little more about these countries and why they behave the way they do towards blacks, because they actually don't believe that blacks have any rights. The USA did not only take part in enslaving blacks, it also exterminated the indigenous Indian population. So it's in the psyche. It's in the psyche. They believe certain things about racial superiority. America has also used its criminal justice system to disproportionately incarcerate black men. Okay? Disproportionately incarcerate black men. Why? The reason is that the ruling families in the United States of America have always wanted to destroy the black family unit as a social system. Okay? So that the blacks then cannot progress. Of course, you know how the Southern farmers formed something called the Ku Klux Klan, basically to organize pogroms against black people, to kill black people, and so on. Now, let's go to Argentina. Maybe you didn't know, but Argentina had a sizable black population. And this black population was disseminated or reduced significantly, almost to non-existence, through deliberate government policies of racial whitening and historical erasure. So, for example, in practical terms, Afro-Argentines were disproportionately conscripted into Argentina's military, and often they were the ones deployed to the front lines when there were wars to be fought, so that then they would die disproportionately. These are historical facts. Let's go to Israel. Israel supported apartheid South Africa in support of the suppression of the black people, particularly between the 1960s and 1994, when apartheid was successfully defeated. And then we started the era of black rule through the ANC. Israel supported South Africa with weapons. They even developed a nuclear program, and it is said that as at 1994, South Africa actually had nuclear weapons, which were destroyed because power was going to black hands. And black people, if you look at the global racist thinking, black people are not supposed to own such weapons for deterrence, because they are not supposed to be able to protect themselves and their resources. Some of the pogroms that happened in South Africa were actively supported by some of these white governments, including the Soweto massacre of children, in which more than 170 children were murdered in 1976. So once again, African people, you have to know that you have no friends in this world. Those people come telling you that they're your friends. They are not your friends when they get an opportunity to support your cause, like this passing of this very important motion in the United Nations, and they fail to support. That is when you know who is your friend and who is your enemy. But overall, the African teacher is telling you, you have no friends. You have to unite as Africans. You have to guarantee your security. You have to integrate this continent. You have to form the United States of Africa. This is urgent. This is a survival thing now, because if we don't do so, when these people get the chance to exterminate all of us, they will do it without flinching at all.